What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker podcast. I'm Nick Baker, and across from me, Shane Good.
Yo.
And we are here to talk to you about some video games. But of course, first things first, go check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Play stores for the audio version of the podcast, as well as our YouTube channel for the video version. Make sure you follow us on our social media on Instagram and Facebook to keep up with everything that's going on with us so that you never miss a show. Now, on to what you've been playing, man. What have you been playing this week?
So I've been, I mostly just play League of Legends right now because work and life and all that fun jazz. And I've been doing like Smurf account and leveling that. But anyways, I did start playing Heroes of the Storm again because for some reason I really like MOBAs.
It's like your piece de resistance.
Dude, it is. It really is. It's like, I don't know, man. I love games that require like a competitive amount of thought. And less it's less about reaction time and more about like a competitive amount of thought. Just like
Right.
the quick ability to weigh out one decision over the next decision, or the ability to remember and memorize how much you do versus how much they do, and who wins what matchups, and just like how you can change the outcome of the game even though you've played it the same time or the same way, for the past 100 games, and like how different everything is. I don't know. I've got an issue.
Nah, dude, I have the same issue with sports games. It's like there's so many different ways you can go at a defense or an offense or whatever when you're playing
Mm-hmm.
basketball or football. There's so many different, and it's a lot like MOBAs in that way where you have those matchups and you're like, oh well, shit, I can fucking streak past this guy. I'll just throw a lob into the end zone for this guy, but. Or some other guys, it's like, oh geez, this guy's gonna lock down my wide receiver. I'm gonna have to use my running game this time. So it's very similar in that sense. I feel like we have the same problem, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a gamer problem in general. I feel like every gamer has that type of game, that genre that they just cling to.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But what have you been playing, man?
So I've been dabbling in Avengers. I dipped back
Oh,
into that because of their Square Enix presents. They threw out a bunch of news and stuff, and it got me itching to play that. On also, I watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier last week, and I was like, oh, I love Marvel so much. So I'm getting back in there, playing through Kate Bishop's storyline. That's Hawkeye's sidekick or something like that. I don't know the comic lore behind her, but she's another Hawkeye
oh,
practically, and so it's pretty cool. Her skills and stuff are very powerful. Unexpectedly, I didn't expect this character to be as powerful as she is, and her abilities are really really useful in a lot of situations. So I'm having a lot of fun getting through the story. I actually finished her storyline last night, so I'm going to be moving on to actual Hawkeye Clint um, tonight probably. So, and I've been dabbling in the PS5 version of that too, which includes a ton of new stuff, load times, frame rates, you name it, they got it in the PS5 version now. So
I
it's
see.
it's a lot better of an experience. The one thing that was really really dragging Avengers down was the load times on the last gen consoles. So
Was it
um,
real high, real bad?
like getting into an instance for a game was like a good minute and a half at
Holy
least. And
shit.
it's like, geez, it when you say it out loud, and I think back to like 2006, and I'm like, oh man, a minute and a half is probably not too bad, but damn, now it just feels like an eternity. So yeah, it's so much better.
I mean, we just as a side note, in League of Legends, if we take more than like a minute to load into a game, or a minute and a half, usually you'll get 10 people. There's only 10 people in the game, but everybody in the game will be like, "Wow, who didn't feed their hamster before the game?" Every time.
Right, that's funny, dude.
Yo.
Oh man, but
So,
yeah, so I've been dipping into Avengers, obviously just kind of dabbling in everything else, playing a little bit of 2K here and there, and Warzone, but you know those are definitely side games at this point. I'm really diving hard into Avengers, seeing if I can really click with that game, and
mhm.
if not, the content's all free, so it's no skin off my back. So Anyway, that brings us to the breakdown. And this week's breakdown, we got a lot to talk about. We got the Square Enix Presents highlights that we're going to go over. We have some Diablo season news for you guys, as well as some delayed games that we're going to talk about. But of course, first things first, we're going to talk about this Square Enix Presents. So
Ooh.
the highlights here, it wasn't very eventful as a whole show. They did announce that they're going to have one later in the summer. I don't think they actually made a specific date there, but the first big announcement that they had here was Life is Strange: True Colors. The sequel to the Life is Strange series is coming out on September 10th of this year. So that's pretty interesting for those Life is Strange players out there. I have not dabbled much in the Life is Strange series. I imagine it's a lot like the Telltale series of games, like the Batman series and
Yeah.
Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like it's that type of gameplay, but I do not have firsthand impressions on this one. Have you seen any Life is Strange gameplay, or you played any of them at all?
I've not played any of them. I've seen like a little bit, but I literally know like nothing about the new series.
Hmm.
It just kind of boils down to that same thing of like, yeah, I don't know. I really play a lot of MOBA games.
Right. Yeah, this one's a little bit outside of the box. It's more of like a storytelling graphic novel style of just kind of you're walking around these worlds and interacting with different things, and it's really just telling you a story through a gameplay vehicle. So I don't know. A lot of people are super excited about this one. Huge fans of Life is Strange out there, so I'm excited for those people to be excited about this one.
I mean, sounds like a strange game.
Oh man, we got the quips and the puns today, everybody.
Oh yeah.
The next one on the list though is one that I was really interested in when we first saw it at I think it was the PlayStation 5 event last summer. Project Athea is getting a new name. It's redubbed as Forspoken, and it's going to be really strange looking new IP, third person action with a lot of really fluid movement and beautiful animations for the abilities and attacks that you see in the actual gameplay footage that we saw. The environments to me seemed very similar to Final Fantasy 15, which kind of makes a lot of sense. Same developer, obviously, but
Right.
yeah, the game itself, from what we saw, it just looks absolutely bananas as far as visual fidelity and all that goes. But the story is kind of shaping up to be really the most intriguing thing about it. It's we have a live action actress playing the main character. There's full mocap of her, so she's literally your character that you're playing in the game. And there's a tiny bit of an interview that they have with her before this gameplay trailer that she goes into a little bit of detail about like what the scenario is like, and she's kind of thrust into this really strange world with things that she's not quite expecting. So like the very first thing that you see in this new trailer is her being like, holy fuck, is that a motherfucking dragon?
Ah!
And there's like a dragon flying all the way around this castle, and she's just like terrified, hiding behind the pillar.
Is
But
that a motherfucking dragon?
it does like harken back a little bit of like Borderlandsy like humor where it's like crass in that way, but it's really based in reality. It seems like the footage looks stunning, like I said. So I can't wait to hear more about Forspoken, probably at their summer event that they're gonna have. But I
Hmm.
imagine that that's going to be one of their big flagship titles for either this year or next. So, what did you think about? Did you check out any of the new footage from this one, or are you rocking from the last one?
Uh, just from the last one.
Yeah.
Um, that being said, like for I don't want to say for what it is, it looks really cool because like the concept, but I, it does look interesting.
If you look into the new footage, like just look it up right now. Look up that trailer. Take a look at the movement that is in that trailer, because the movement is really what got me most interested. I think because I love games like Spider Man is a great example of a game that you can just literally just swing around that city and have just as fun a time as if you were playing through the story. The movement in that game makes that game so much more of an experience.
I will not be able to play it without blasting the ears off of our viewers because of the way that I have the recording set up.
Okay.
But I looked up screenshots, and it does look like, I mean, obviously you can't see movement in screenshots, but it is really pretty.
Right.
There's
So
a
it's
lot of reaction videos of people doing it, of like looking at it though.
Yeah, people were really psyched about this one. So I highly recommend taking a look at that one after we're done with the show. But um, yeah, another one of those Square Enix titles that I'm just diving full head first into because I'm just a
You and the
fucking
Square Enix, dude.
simp for that Square Enix, man.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was so excited for this presents. I was like, oh man, what are they gonna surprise us with this time? And you know,
It's
Avengers.
it starts and Nick's just like, take my money.
Take it off.
Yeah, literally.
Final Fantasy. Ah! But yeah. Anyway, so the last thing on our highlights for the Square Enix presents is, of course, the little bit of an updated roadmap for the Avengers game. They gave us some details on the Black Panther DLC. They showed off a whole new trailer showing off the character for the first time in game in footage. So that's really cool. We're going to be going to Wakanda, fighting all those battles in that grassy knoll.
Dude, that's
So
actually fucking really sick, especially if you get to play out that big ass battle at the end. Like,
I'm thinking that it'll eventually ramp up to something like that once we have all of these locations and stuff in the game. Like, and it's more of like a Lego erector set for them, so they can start just smashing all the pieces together.
yo,
But right now we're just dealing with a fucking shitload of robots, and man, I'm so tired of like ripping the heads off of robots.
yo, I mean, robots are
I need some
cool, but
Kree to fight. Give me some aliens.
some aliens, bro. Fuck the aliens. Fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking aliens left and right as soon as they're
That's
available
not
to
what
be
I meant, but
fucked.
I'm glad you took it there.
Yeah, we're there. We're there now. But so yeah, that's everything that Square Enix Presents had to offer this time. But we'll be looking forward to that summer showcase.
Would you
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we have more Final Fantasy 16 news. What's up?
I was gonna make a terrible pun. I was gonna say, wouldn't you mean that's all they had to present to us?
Oh, yeah,
Because it's a
and
presents.
we're on to Diablo season 23. Everybody, it's coming April 2nd. What do you got to say about this one, Shane? Got any
So,
quips?
uh, no, unfortunately, just depression.
Mm,
Um, so
damn,
essentially,
crippling depression.
I mean,
Mm.
if you saw how many hours every new season that comes out, I probably put like 45 to 50 hours in the first week into the game. And
Yeah.
usually, I mean, I used to play the first 24 hours straight. So, I used to have, like, especially when I was like on the I want to be number one in the leaderboards consistently grind. Oh man. So,
Uh,
this league is essentially they're it's not a multiplayer league. So like Diablo is a multiplayer game. If you wanted to reach high rift levels, you had to play with other people. That was just like there were solo people, but they could like you'd only get so far when you play solo. Like if you are playing a demon hunter, you need something to buff up your toughness to be able to like withstand a hit like at all. Um, so now what they've done is they're taking your follower, which you used to like your follower used to be able to use like some simple skills to like help you out or taunt enemies if you took a lot of damage or whatever. And now they're taking it and making your follower a lot more updated. They're going to allow your follower to equip and use uniques and different things like that. So like there's a um, let's see, like different weapons that would give you attack speed before. If you put them on them, the attack speed would go to them, versus now the attack speed goes to you. So like you
oh
get the
god.
bonuses of what they're wearing directly to you.
Wow. All right. So
Um,
that's like Double your pleasure right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they can equip like everything. So essentially, you get to make a build for you, and then you get to make a build for you. Which would just make solo play a lot more entertaining for people that really enjoy the game but don't play with a ton of people, or like a ton of like the community falls off pretty early after they've leveled and pushed to like Paragon 1000 type of thing. So
Right, right. Just it gives the singles out there more playability.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's cool. I I would love to see more news on Diablo 4, which I think we actually will see more news on Diablo 4 this year. But I don't think we will see Diablo 4 probably for at the very closest 2 to 3 years, probably. I don't even
You think
like
it's that far out?
at least that far out.
Mm.
I might even say that I might even say that it's closer to 4 to 5,
Oof.
depending on how much they truly do with this Diablo 2 Resurrected. If Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out and there's a ton of like new content for it, and they continue to make new content for it, I could see it being 4 to 5 years because I will definitely kind of tie in. I did just happen to look because I was curious. May 15th, 2012 is when Diablo came out. We're 9 years from the original Diablo 3 launch time, and we still barely have. We know that Diablo 4 is a game, but that's it.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is a game somewhere. It's that same idea as oh fuck, Dragon Age. EA and
Yo,
Dragon Age and BioWare are all over there, and they're like, ah, here's some footage of like an engine running the game. We'll see you in a few years.
pretty much, pretty much.
It's like, wow, all right. But yeah, Blizzard's got their work cut out for them because man, Diablo fans are rabid.
Yeah,
So
I
they do
mean
not want to come up to the plate with anything less than like a release date announcement or like a really solid gameplay trailer next
that
time they show anything.
that being said, though, Diablo players are willing to wait. Like the Diablo community, the like Blizzard community in general, really are very patient people. You know, they would rather wait 5 years than you put out a shit game in two.
No, absolutely, and I think that that speaks for a lot of fans. But and at the same time, it's like stop teasing us with all these like bullshit, like oh yeah, Diablo's totally soon. Yeah, we're gonna get it out, and then like completely backpedal and be like, oh yeah, we got Diablo 2.
Dude, they went. They've been silent for a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
after the oh yeah, it was the wasn't it the Diablo mobile game that really got them
the Diablo
that
mobile game was 2 years ago now, and that got everybody really, really riled up. And then they said like 3 months later that they were canceling it. They came out with a Diablo 4 like cinematic trailer. Like, I mean, dude, the trailer was insane, and you meet like Lilith. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, we watched that. Yeah, I remember that
Yo,
one.
and then since then, there's been a little bit of information here or there, but there has not been any substantial information at all. And they actually just announced not too long ago that the Diablo phone game actually was still in development and will be coming out before Diablo 4.
Oh man.
Um,
There's gonna be like there's gonna be an announcement trailer for that one. Everybody's gonna get riled up, like, oh my god, Diablo. And then it's just gonna pan out and it's gonna be like this shitty fucking mobile top down bullshit.
yeah, it's basically Diablo 3 simplified. Yikes,
Mm,
simplified. For your phone. That's
yeah,
pretty much what it is. Um,
Jesus.
but you know,
I mean, that's not bad at all if it actually does what it's expected. Like just kind of miniaturizes that Diablo 3 experience onto your mobile device. That'd be actually really cool. But um, I don't know. I for some reason I foresee that not going exactly to plan, and I don't
same.
know why.
I you know, call it a hunch.
Yeah, let's call it a hunch. But Next on our list, you want the bad news or the bad news? Because we got two games that are delayed.
Oof. I
We
mean,
got
oh, go ahead.
Gotham Knights.
Yo.
Oh man, my computer just went into screensaver mode. All right. Gotham Knights is delayed until 2022, unfortunately, and Returnal is delayed until April 30th. So that's not that bad. It was supposed to come out last week,
Yeah.
and it's now delayed until the end of next month. So
I mean,
if we
yeah.
don't see another Last of Us like experience here, we'll see it at the end of next month. If we're thinking The Last of Us, we'll probably see it maybe end of June.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. The Gotham kind of sucks because like they're basically just like, yeah, it will come out at some point next year, and
Mm.
where we're so early in the year, next year could mean a year and 8 months.
Yeah, it's the same thing that Far Cry is doing right now. It's like you remember when Far Cry was supposed to come out? Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
they were coming out with a game. Was that this year, last year, the year before?
Well, it was all of them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. We saw a trailer in every one of those years, and we still have yet to see Far Cry 6 hit shelves. So
I mean,
hopefully these games don't fall into that pit. But the thing that gets me, um, gives me a little hope for Gotham Knights is that they had a lot to show that first time, and they're taking an entire another year to polish all of that. So once that comes out, I'm sure that's going to be a really polished and fun experience for everybody to play. Returnal, on the other hand, is one of those games that we've just seen so much of that
mhm.
it does it. What polishing can you do in a month?
I mean,
Is always my question. Like, why only a month? Why wouldn't you just delay like 6 months or like 3 months? Maybe it's like a fiscal thing, I guess. But
I was gonna
you
say
know,
they're with such little time, it could be a lot of things. I mean, there might
mhm,
even just be a game-breaking bug that was somehow missed in early PTRs, and it got found, and they have to try and figure out how to fix it. Plus,
mm,
they're gonna have a live patch day one. They're gonna have to, it's easier to
right.
have a
That
little extra time.
Yeah, you assume that's exactly what they're kind of building towards is like a pretty big day one patch for that April 30th launch date.
Yo,
Yeah.
you take that disc, you put it in, it's like you don't have enough space. So you go buy another hard drive or uninstall 6 games and it's like 120 gigs installed. You start the game and it's like 120 gig update. You don't have enough space.
Bitch. It's like, oh man. Wow,
The
all right.
size of games lately has just gotten
It's
ridiculous.
astronomical and it's only going up, man. The way they like sometimes condense games, I'm like, oh, how'd you do that? It's like, oh, yeah, this whole swath of content's gone. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, oh, Call of Duty does a really good job at allowing you to install specific parts of the game.
Mm,
That
mhm.
way you don't have to have like, 240 gigs of your fucking hard drive used all at once.
Then you have that moment of like forgetting that you don't have the entire game installed. You're like, oh yeah, I'll hop over and play some multiplayer. Get over there. It's like, oh, 120 gigs. Oh no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ah, man, what a life us gamers have, huh?
I know. I know.
Speaking of a wonderful life for us gamers, PSVR 2 is finally being revealed slowly, and they're finally revealing the controllers. So we've gotten a look at these things. They look a lot like the Oculus Rift controllers. It's not a lot to write home about. That's why I only kind of snippeted it here, and really didn't have much else to say about it. But yeah, it's cool that we're getting a PSVR 2, and that Sony's really kind of taken a swing back in that VR market, even though they really just should probably stop because it's probably going to cost them way more money than it's actually going to make them. But hey, if it's good and they make it work, I think that it could be a good thing for the gaming ethos as a whole. That VR is being pushed forward by at least one of the big three.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Microsoft has been pushing VR this whole time, obviously.
Right.
Um, but isn't does Sony own HTV? Is that no? The Vive? Doesn't Sony own the Vive?
No, no.
I thought they
HTC is the
HTC, yeah.
I don't. I forget who owns. I think Samsung owns
Is
HTC.
it Samsung? I thought that somebody that Sony was like in really good works with, or them they themselves owned
I
a
think they.
industry for it already.
I think they were in. Hmm.
Cause that would be, I mean, like
I thought it was actually Microsoft that was.
maybe it is.
They had the smart glass, and I think that they were doing
Oh,
something with.
they had was it Oculus Rift? They had like
Well, Rift was bought by Facebook, I think, and
right,
then they literally did nothing with it. They tried to do like those weird VR like ads and shit that you scroll past and that you like turn your phone and it looked terrible and you're like, oh well, fuck this.
right. I remember
Um,
that. Yep, that's a good joke
but
though.
I yeah
Good
yeah it
joke,
was
Zuckerberg.
yeah, yeah really, really funny, really funny. But
Also, get out
yeah
of my window.
I don't think yeah. Also, get the fuck away from me. Uh, so I don't think Sony has any like big partnerships for this. I think they're just kind of um, swinging at the same audience that they've had in that VR space since the launch of the PSVR. So hopefully that grows a little bit. I'm waiting to see what this PSVR is actually going to bring to the table as far as really good games or games that are going to draw you to it before I'm actually on board. And I'm a Sony fanboy, so I'm like waiting in the wings for anything Sony related. But
Right.
this just seems like too steep of a hill to climb on my own without any kind of reassurance that there's something good at the top.
I mean, that's fair. Especially, I'm sure that the price point come through is gonna be hard to swallow, to say the least.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to be a whole other thing for the availability of this.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to find one of these, especially in COVID times right now. Good
Yeah.
luck in 2024 when you see a PSVR 2 on shelves.
I mean,
But
maybe at that point it will be well refined.
yeah, it probably will be, and they'll probably have like some fucking knockoff Uncharted first party game on there, and everybody will be butthurt about that because Nathan Drake isn't in it anymore, and
I
whatever.
I mean, there honestly though, there could be some really cool shit, especially with was that game that allowed you to like make other games or whatever? Dream something?
Yeah, Dreams. Yep,
Yep, Dreams.
nailed it.
Maybe they'll have a like kind of Dreams but for VR, and the community themselves will make a majority of like the cooler games and stuff like that. I mean, that's I forget what it's called, but there was something like that on PC, and it actually like has almost all of the good VR games. People that play VR games just have that.
Yeah, no, the Dreams thing was a big burst at first, and then it kind of trickled out. But
Hmm.
I do agree with you. I think the VR PSVR 2 should really lean in that direction and partner with a team like Media Molecule that makes Dreams and
Hmm.
really get them to day one get Dreams on there so that they can just fill the catalog with PSVR 2 titles and just blow the wheels off everybody.
You think they could ever? You think they could just shorten it? PSVR 2. Like, could we just yeah, like
Yeah,
PSVR, like
yeah, I,
PlayStation VR? I don't know. It's got to be an
yeah,
easier way.
yeah.
P2.
There's got to, yeah, yeah, maybe. I don't know. There are less letters we can push together here to make it seem right, but I don't know what those letters are.
I don't know.
Anyway, speaking of, well, I guess I wasn't speaking of anything, but the next thing on our breakdown,
Segways,
uh,
am I right?
segue. March 31st is the day that Mario dies. Is what I wrote here.
Interesting.
According
Interesting.
to everyone on the internet that is upset about how Nintendo is dealing with their anniversary of everyone's favorite plumber, um, they're taking down all of the anniversary content at the end of this month. That includes the 35th anniversary Mario games that are available on the Switch Online service.
Hmm.
That's the 3 All Stars game that's available in stores and digitally. There's a bunch of little things that are spliced out between other platforms as well. I think the stuff for Splatoon and Animal Crossing is all getting pulled too. So they're just pretty much pulling everything Mario off the shelves, and everybody's like, "Well, is he dying?"
Wait, but why?
So the that's exactly the question. Like, why are they doing it? Why would they do something like this? And my only answer, I think, is money. they
Wait a
they
second.
they see an opportunity to make scarcity out of these Mario games, and they've done it before, and they'll do it again. They're going to resell these games 10 years down the road, HD remastered, and we're going to buy them up, and it's going to be no problem to us because we love Nintendo. But these motherfuckers, all this
See,
time, man, they've been in the weeds. They're creeping through. They're just making us buy all these fucking games every time, and they're just taking them off the shelves. Like, no, you can't buy them now. Too late, motherfucker.
that's such a Nintendo thing to do. See, I don't have
Yeah.
that issue because, PC,
Right,
I
right.
just I
The
just go
ROMs
download a
and all that.
ROM and
Yeah.
oh, was I supposed to
No,
I
no.
owned that like 10 years ago, so I can download a ROM, you asshole.
Yeah, right. I've owned it like 7 times. I should at least be able to own it on my PC, where you're not allowed to own
Correct. PC,
it.
Microsoft, Nintendo, if they saw me doing that, they would hard brick my hardware so fast. I don't even,
Mm.
you know. But luckily, I don't play a lot of Nintendo games, so it's not that big of a deal.
Right, yeah, you're on the other side of the dark web,
Yeah, I'm more of a
where they don't
Roblox
have
guy.
where they don't have bootleg copies of like Pokemon Crystal that run like shit.
Wait, what?
ROMs and whatnot. Sometimes they just break, and you're like,
Dude,
oh well, there goes all my progress.
dude, hey, here's the thing. ROMs, no load screens.
That's
Immediately,
true.
you just load right up to where you want it to be. You when you're walking from one point to another, just hold spacebar. You'll double
Hmm.
the speed of the game.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
like,
that's fun.
dude, you could even have the game speed at 1,000. If you've never tried to play Pokemon like Yellow or something on 1,000% game speed, do it because the entertainment value is insane. You won't even be able to walk into the professor's office in under 5 minutes. I almost guarantee it.
You'll be at the Elite Four in the blink of an eye, maybe.
Uh, no, but
You'll just like jet through a wall into the water, across the water, and just break the game. It's
uh,
like, yeah, no, you're good.
yeah, no, you
Take a
don't
break.
break the game. It's just like you can't aim at all. So you walk forward and you're like, if you have to go anywhere like very one block specific, it's just not gonna happen. I'm
You
sorry.
have to like just precisely, like slowly press down once on the D-pad or the whatever
Yeah,
WASD,
the West.
the WASD.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't. I think you press down once. I did it years ago, but you press down once and it'll go from like the top of the village to the bottom of the village.
That's
Like,
amazing.
yeah.
But anyway, that's Pokemon. Mario is dying this month, and we need to give him a send off. So Boo-doo, boo, boo-doo, boo.
More.
Wah.
All
We're
right, well,
sorry, Mario.
we just got copyright strikes, so
Yeah. And you'll never see this podcast again. All right. Yeah, if only we were that popular, right?
I know.
Yeah. Well,
I'll,
anyway, that's everything we got for you this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. We did because, we love talking about games. We love talking about games with you guys. So make sure you check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Play stores for the audio version of the podcast, as well as our YouTube channel for the video version. And make sure you follow us on our social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook to keep up with everything that's going on with us and so that you never miss a show. And we will catch you next week. We love you. Peace.
peace.